Here is your miracle cure. Don't mind the harsh side effects. Oh, or the high medical bills. Oh, or it might actually not get you into remission. These things that the doctors like to prescribe are called biologicals. Now at this point, I already thought to myself, I already feel like a rat inside your scientist's lab. You keep constantly giving me medication after medication, trying to say this will work. Nope. Okay, this might work. Nope, this might work. So for me, this last medication was either make or break. I either thought to myself, you know what? It either works and fantastic and I'll take it, or if I take it and it doesn't work, then fuck the doctors. I'm not taking any more of your shitty medications. And as usual, this medication failed. But I'm here to tell you now, I've been in clinical remission for 22 months with something that's very simple, no harsh side effects, and it's very tasty. But I'm going to take you back to when I first started the biologicals. So I was sat there, they said, right, there's these one, this one, this one, this one. They give you these like pamphlets. Some of them had like 10, 15 pages of things that you had to read about what it did and what are the side effects and this and other. So I took them home, I kind of looked through them at which ones might be best. I decided to go for Humira. This was supposed to have had a great percentage of people who got in remission. So I think it was like 60% of people got into remission. So I thought that was pretty low anyway. So I got this thing and I said, right, I want to do this. They then book you an appointment with a nurse who comes and shows you how to do it. So she comes in and I'm sat there thinking, okay, this shouldn't be too bad. Then they whap out these 4 little EpiPen things. And I'm thinking, okay, I thought I was only injecting myself once, but okay. So I sat there, she's like, we have to inject you 4 times for this first dose. And I'm thinking, bloody hell, I don't even want to do it once, let alone 4 times. So they said you could either do it in your stomach or your leg. So my legs are skinny as, oh, they're like twigs. So I thought, I don't really want to go in there. So then I was like, I'll do it in my stomach. Put the first one in, and you literally are pressing, it's like a missile that goes straight into your skin. And then you've got to count down 10 seconds. So you're there, 10, 9, 8. All while you're pinching your skin, you can feel this liquid that's like seeping into your body. And it's painful. The stuff that they go into was painful and it weren't very nice. So after the first one, she's like, right, we've got another one to do. And I'm like, do we really have to do this one? I don't really want to. And yep, you've got to do it. And then the second one, straight in again. I'm holding it. I'm thinking, this is horrible. I don't want to do it anymore. And there was me pleading with her, trying to get her to only do 2. And she was like, no, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do all 4. So then I had to keep building myself up. Right, I can do it, I can do it. And I'm doing the 3rd one, the 4th one. And then the week after, or no, in fact, it was 2 weeks later, you have to do 2, which weren't as bad. And then from afterwards that, you have to do like once each week, the nurse would tell me. So I'm like, okay, fair enough, that's not too bad. It's just these first couple of weeks. But this medication I was on for 18 months. So I was there doing everything I was supposed to be doing, injecting myself every 2 weeks of this bloody medication. After 18 months, I had no harsh side effects. So I didn't have any of the headaches, the bad like skin cancers or anything like that, this medication that I was supposed to give you. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to come off it. The doctor advised, obviously, like, no, you don't want to do that. You've not been on it long enough. But for me, every day that I was on it longer was more of a risk of getting these side effects. So I was like, no. It's my body. I'm not staying on them anymore. And then within 6 months of coming off this medication, I end up with another flare-up. And obviously you feel shit. You feel like, bloody hell, why on earth did I even go through that 18 months of potentially getting side effects for it not to work? So obviously I rung the doctors, tail between my leg. Oh, well, I've had another flare-up. What do I do? What do you think they said? Put in the comments below, what do you think they said? So the doctor was sat there quite smugly, actually. You could tell by the tone of his voice he was smug. Oh, well, we did say not to, come off the medication. The only thing that you can do is go back on it. So obviously my heart sunk and I was like, oh, no, please, please. So they said because it should be roughly in the system, you can just start maybe taking it again without having to do the first initial process. So I started taking the medication, and in 6 months, I was actually on the medication for 6 months, I had another flare up. So I thought to myself, fuck this shit. I'm not taking this harsh medication to then end up flaring anyway. And at the end of it, I thought to myself, why was everyone else getting these results and I wasn't? So that was like a switch that was gone off in my brain. I was just like, you know what? Why am I the person that keeps going on all these different medications, these Mirazan, Pentasa, Octasa, Mercaptopurine, Azaprilavin, and then I was on this Humira, been on loads of courses of steroids, but yet I wasn't getting into remission. So why does these other people get into remission and I wasn't? So, as you do, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to ignore the doctors and I'm going to try to do stuff for myself. And if you check the top link in the description, it is my course. So I've done a 90-day UC fast track to healing protocol. And this is the thing that got me into remission for the last 22 months. It goes into everything that you could possibly think of. It goes into obviously the mindset of how to get rid of food triggers, conflicts. It also goes into how to do the diet to give you the best benefit to get into remission, because the diet itself is a massive part. If you're removing everything out, then you will literally have one type of food, which is meat, which then your bowels can heal. They can get all the nutrients that they need to repair the gut lining, everything that you could possibly need. And I wish I had this 12 years ago. Is in the top link in the description. So I discovered this by looking into things more holistically, finding things that come naturally and thinking to myself, you know what? Our body for millions of years has healed without having to use these pharmaceutical fucking shit that the doctors want to give you. So this led me down the path of many years of trying to figure stuff out, different diets, different supplements, different regimes, just to try and get me into remission. And then after so many years, I kind of figured out how nutrition is a massive role in actually healing your UC. So for me, the nutrition is just a must, because you get these people, obviously, they can heal their UC and then they start eating all these different shit again. And then before long, they end up having a flare up, or they don't feel amazing because the food that they're eating might not necessarily be triggering them in that point. But it's like a volcano. It'll slowly start to build up. And all of a sudden, they have a flare up. Or they don't realize it's happening. And then they end up having to have the large colon removed because it's been burning away. And they've been taking this medication that's been masking their symptoms. It hasn't actually been healing them. So then when it comes to it, they end up having to be rushed into hospital and end up having their large colon removed. So this led me down like a massive journey to figuring out what it was that you need to heal your UC. So this has led me obviously down the holistic approach, and I realized that doctors will never ever heal you because they only know one thing. Now over the years I've been asking them, right, okay, so how about trying this approach, or how about trying this, how about doing this? And each time they'd be like, no, that won't work, no, that won't work. And then sometimes they even said, I don't even know what that is. And these are medical professionals who are supposed to know all these different ways, so then they can give you their guided recommendations on it. But instead, they haven't got a clue, because all they do is learn from a textbook. And this textbook is years and years old, and it's got outdated information. But yet, they're still using it to today to heal people. Because all it says in it is, give them this medication. Nope, not working. Give them this medication. Shove some up their ass to check to see what it is. Nope, let's give them this medication. Look, if you sat there pissed off with the doctors and fed up with their lies, trust me, I get it. I've had it for 10 years before I started to get into the point of where I was getting remission. So I understand and I feel your pain. And the best thing you could do to start healing today is by changing your mindset and realizing you do not need your doctor's permission to try other things. You do not need your doctor to tell you this is the way to do something. You need to become that researcher, the scientist that will find the solution to actually healing. Because if you don't change your mindset and you like I did, like many people do, take the doctor's advice and do it blindly without really realizing that there is other solutions, it will save you many, many years of constantly flaring, constantly being miserable because you have to keep going back on these medications. Now, a couple of quick tips you can do is, first of all, change your mindset. That is one of the biggest things I said. You need to obviously change to you being the researcher. The second thing is to get your nutrition on point. So I started the carnivore diet and I found that this was the best thing for me because it removes all the irritants like the plants, the sugars, the processed crap, the seed oils. This gives your bowels time to actually heal because it hasn't got other stuff coming in. And no matter how many times your doctor says that this fucking disease doesn't get affected by nutrition like they did for me, is a load of bullshit. If you've got things coming through your bowels, obviously it's going to irritate. If these things are like, if you take fiber, it's like sandpaper. It literally comes through and it's like scratches it. And if your bowels are already inflamed and red raw, and you're eating this thing that just scratches through it, obviously that is going to affect it. So removing everything, and then after you've done that for a few weeks, you'll notice a massive difference, not only in how your bowels feel, but also how you feel mentally because you've got all this fucking shit out of your system. You start feeling amazing again. Then after that, if you want to obviously speak to your doctors about going off your medication because you're feeling so good, then it's your choice. And then the last thing is making sure that you're exercising. I know it seems like at the minute, if you're really in a flare, you feel drained and everything like that. But I noticed that if I kept up my regime of weight training and staying fit, that the flare-up itself didn't make me feel as fatigued, didn't make me feel as tired, and I didn't feel as weak because I felt like I was lifting and feeling good. So trying to keep that regime of weight training or body weight training, whatever it is, to then get you through this flare, because you imagine you're going to the toilet, what, 15, 20 times, 25 times a day like I was, like literally bleeding every single time, like profusely, loads of diarrhea. You need to keep your strength up because it will definitely affect the way that you can actually handle this flare if you can keep your mental strength up, because when you're training, you have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. It also keeps your muscle strength as well, so you can like literally keep as much strength as possible. So there's 3 quick tips. If there's anything that your doctor has said to you that you thought to yourself, this doesn't make sense, how can this be possible? Then put it in the comments below, and I'll see you again soon.